All right, welcome back to My Mom's Basement. It is Robbie Fox, and I am here with Jacoby, Tobin, and Jerry from Papa Roach. How are you guys? You guys are on a run of shows right
Great.
now that, from videos, looks absolutely awesome.
Yeah, it's incredible. Packed houses every night. Energy's great.
We just smashing it up, dude. Yeah. I mean, like when we leave town, I know people are talking, which is dope.
Absolutely. You guys have toured the country and the world even over so many times. Do you have favorite places to play in America specifically?
Chi-Town always goes off.
Texas goes off.
Yeah.
We could tour Texas for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Dude, I'm excited to actually go back to Florida too, man. It's been a minute since we've been to Florida, so Florida usually brings it, man. So we'll see if they still got it.
What about the weirdest places you guys have ever played? I have a band here at Barstool. It's kind of like a fake pop punk band, but we just recently played a Bojangles parking lot. Have you guys ever done anything like that?
Oh, dude, we played parking lots. We played keg parties in
We
backyards.
probably played Bojangles, there's a lot of Bojangles.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a rock club actually out in Cali called It used to be called Cattle Club. It's where the Deftones got started, and then they changed the name to actually Bojangles. But
Really?
But we did it all, dude. I mean, we've been doing this since '93, right? So it was like school talent shows, freaking Jerry's garage, Tobin's garage, my garage, the homies' garage.
Never a basement though. We never had a basement.
Come on, never?
Remember that show in Tahoe? It was a bar.
Oh
It was
yeah,
a basement and a bar.
We played a basement, but we never got to rehearse in a basement because they don't really have basements in California. So
We played at his
that's
mom's
true.
house. We played at his mom's house. We played at my mom's
we
house.
played a gas
Gas
station.
station. Whoa.
Yeah.
What was that like? Was that like an official show? You told people to come to the gas
Embarrassing.
station?
It was exactly what you think it would be like.
Like,
People,
what are we doing?
People getting gas, and there was like a mascot walking around the place, right?
Hey, dude,
We were willing to play anywhere.
anything.
That's crazy. We actually just had Darius Rucker in the Barstool office, and he said something that I thought was pretty interesting. He said back in the day, you went on tour to support your album, and nowadays you're writing albums so that you can go on tour. Did that change in the business affect the way you guys write music?
You know, what came first, the chicken or the egg, you know? I guess that's that kind of situation.
One thing
Right.
we're definitely like trying to figure out if making a full-length album is going to be the thing to do in the future. You know, it might just be more single based, you know, or a smaller like EP type thing. That's one thing that's definitely I've noticed the change.
But how much are you thinking of the live show as you're writing now? Are you thinking like, let's write this so it's fun to play live, or not always?
With certain songs, we definitely feel that experience, right? It's like, oh, this one could get the crowd bouncing. What's that bounce tempo? You know, I think that's important. But also, you know, when you're making a full-length album, you do want to take your fans on the journey. So it's not always about that live experience that we're thinking of when we're writing a song. You know, in particular, there's a track called Leave a Light On the new record, and it's, you know, an acoustic, just a straight acoustic song, right? And for us in our live show, that's like not the norm for us. We've been playing it on this tour, and it is probably honestly one of my favorite points in the set. And it's about, you know, the lyric, the guitar, the vocal, the melody, the simplicity of what a great song is. And I think exploring that, I guess, version dynamic of who we are as a band, it's like on this tour, it's really, it's fun. It's exciting to see where we take it from here.
Yeah, and you guys have been consistently releasing music for decades at this point. You never go 2 or 3 years without an album. Does the writing process ever stop for you? Are you just constantly writing? Do you have to start it back up when you feel ready for an album? What's that like?
I mean, Tobin will write till he passes out at night. Like I walk in the back lounge, studio is fully set up on top of 2 guitar cases, balanced on top of an ice box. And I'm going, man, this bus is about to take off and drive down the freeway. Tobin's dead asleep in his bunk. he wrote till his eyes couldn't take it no more, dude. So yeah, man.
Yeah, we don't really have a shortage of ideas, but we do have to like make it an experience. Every time we do make a record, we have to find a way to trap ourselves like in an environment that is fun. You know what I mean? So that, because we've made a lot of records, you know, been a band for a long time. So like every time we officially go in and like start to like really like record and refine all of the ideas for an album. It has to be an experience, you know, where we have like stories to tell, and it's just a good time where we all get to like reconnect outside of touring and outside of our home family life. So we make that a point. We got to figure out what we're going to do for this next one.
What's next?
Which record do you have the fondest memories of making when you look back?
Probably Crooked Teeth, which was
that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
yeah. We had to we made this record called Crooked Teeth about 2017, and we did it in North Hollywood, which is like where all the studios are, and it's not like the most desirable place, you know. It's like it was a little rough neighborhood, but we decided to buy thousands of dollars worth of sand and turn the whole entire parking lot into like this like beachy kind of tiki bar. You know, we wanted to play spike ball was big at the time, so we needed a big area where we could dive in the sand. We had a pool. We would have these late night kind of like acoustic like sing-alongs by the fire. And meanwhile, all the neighborhood suspects were like creeping in, like, "Oh, what are you guys doing over there?" You know what I mean? And so it was that was just we made a good time out of that one.
And then what about the flip side? Do you have a record that was particularly hard to get down the way you guys wanted it?
I think every record has its moments where it's challenging, you know. I don't think there's an album for me in particular that sticks out that was like, oh, that was really hard to make. I say it's just there's moments or songs you just wrestle with, and
that one in Jersey was rough because
actually you're right.
Trying to figure out how to get off the damn turnpike was
dude. Yeah. Fucking dude, put a bullet in my brain.
I'm from Jersey, born and raised, so you're preaching to the choir here.
Dude, we were in Fairlawn.
We couldn't
oh shit, you recorded in Fairlawn?
Yeah, dude, Whitney Houston's old studio.
Unreal. I grew up 20 minutes from there.
Yeah.
Bada bing.
Yeah, that's right. Drove past it every day on my way to college. Yeah. How involved in the production process are you guys usually? How much do you like to actually get your hands involved in the sonic process of the record?
I'm a lyrics and melody guy, so that's not my deal. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna step out of that one. Y'all take it.
Yeah, we pretty much delegate like that. Like I'd say I try to stay involved as much as possible, you know, but you have to also trust, you know, the producers and the outside collaborators, because they're like, you know, the outside pair of ears. So you know, but we definitely, like, the three of us are heavily involved with everything, you know, and especially now that we are our own label and we have our own team, we do everything. It's just crazy. Like we just had a meeting, a shareholders meeting. We go through all the ins and outs of our business, and it's just like our minds are just blown.
As we've grown, with this business, the opportunities have expanded, you know, to be our own record company, to be our own boss. And really, it's like the more you discover, like you go visit the wizard behind the curtain, you're like, fuck the wizard, man, he ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could be a wizard, we could be wizards.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm a wizard now.
Where's my hat?
Now that you're involved in that, like on that side of the label and business process, do you look at anything differently than when you were just coming up?
I think you know, we're very conscious of budgets, you know. I think we've learned that from being a touring artist for so many years and learning how to have a profitable business. And then when you're making records and you learn, I guess, the back end of the shadowy side of the music business, it's like, oh man, you know, when you make records, are you really do you even make money off your albums? And then you see how much money the record company makes versus the artist, and it kind of makes you sick. The more you learn, you're like, fuck, these cocksuckers just try to rake you over the coals on a regular.
You can cut out the middleman nowadays. It's much easier.
Would you recommend that to a band that's like coming up and trying to make a name for themselves, or do you still have to go through a process of signing with a label and stuff?
I think if you set it up right and you're able to like take advantage of social media and you learn the business, you know, I mean, that's the hardest part. And you have a good team together. You have to have like a great team, and we're very lucky that we have a good team, a good lawyer, good managers, good, you know, business managers, good. What else am I leaving out?
Yeah, I mean, that's all.
Good food,
Yeah, good food.
you know.
And you
No.
can delegate, like just who's in charge of what.
Yeah, I think if you just blindly go at it, it can just be a disaster.
Yeah.
And it really helps to have smart people around you. That's a big deal. But an artist in particular that comes to mind that's done a really good job with it is Macklemore. You know what I'm saying? He just came out straight when he was shopping at the thrift shop with that track, dropped it independent right off the rip, and has done a great job with his career. And it starts with the music though. You got to have something, a movement, a feeling, a song that just connects with people on a deep and meaningful way. That's what's going to take you.
That's what Oliver Anthony's doing right now.
Yeah.
On the topic of advice, my band is actually playing our first ever festival this Saturday. I wanted to know if you guys had, I wanted to know if you guys had any advice for us playing our first, festival set.
Do you guys, how many shows have you guys played before?
We've played about like 15 shows before, but never like a legitimate music festival. It's always us putting on a show through Barstool, and it's our own thing. This time, like, we're going on right before Mike Campbell, like some legends.
Yeah, dude. Crowd participation. I noticed that crowds, like big festival crowds, they love to be told like what to do. So, if you can get them to, clap or
sing along
or just like anything, they love to be a part of it.
Give them the Freddie Mercury hey-ohs, maybe.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely, man. If Freddie Mercury Queen live at Donington, but live at Wembley Stadium. Just go watch that shit a couple times. It's like all the tricks are in there, man. And they're just, obviously it starts with the songs, but they were just such an iconic, amazing band. And he just had a way of really grabbing the crowd and just having them in the palm of his hand,
What's the best live show that the three of you have personally seen from the crowd?
Oh man.
Yeah, that's a tough
we see a lot of live shows. Like recently when we were in Europe, we saw While She Sleeps play in a little tent outside on the same day that they're like I don't know how you
hardcore,
kind of a hardcore new metal band from England. At the same time that we watched, like the 1975 was on another stage.
Oh yeah, that was good. 1975 was so tight,
and they were great. And so we get to see a lot of good
that and Tame Impala was a dope show.
Oh yeah, that was legit. Faith No More in Europe, we got to catch like the first half of their set before we had to bounce, and they played all the songs I wanted to hear, which was
nice.
awesome. Chili Peppers at Louder Than Life was awesome a couple of years ago. 9 Inch Nails, they've done some. Jerry and I went and saw them in London. Yeah, London at this 5,000 capacity theater, and it was top.
You mentioned Faith No More, and I know you guys constantly, will reference them as an inspiration and kind of give them their flowers, but I feel like they're a band that doesn't get enough credit, especially with like current bands nowadays. How much influence do they actually put on other bands? Do you guys feel that way?
Oh, we love them, man. And I think they do get the credit they deserve because they know, the band knows, when there's an interview and we reference their band or another band reference them, whether they like it or not, they've inspired a whole genre of music in a way. They've been godfathers of it. And, when we go tour in Europe, it's like they're the headliners of the festivals, right? They're like the big dogs. So I think that's the flowers that they deserve when you step on the stage and you're the top dog. It's like, that's the space that we're all gunning for.
That's a good point.
So maybe not in America, maybe they're a bit underrated in America, but worldwide it's like iconic.
Good. I'm glad to hear that because I feel like they do deserve that headlining spot. Amazing band. What is the perfect rock and roll album to you guys? When you think, especially sonically, especially if you're thinking of bass tones or guitar tones or drum sounds that you want to emulate on Papa Roach records, stuff that you could show a producer and say, make me sound like that.
Dude, I don't know now.
Well, I mean, there's like the classic ones, of course, like I feel like if you're looking at rock and roll, like in the encyclopedia, there should be like a picture of like AC/DC,
Yeah.
you know, or like even like Appetite for Destruction, you know, like that album is amazing. But as far as like modern rock, definitely I would say like Angel Dust.
Yeah, that's a pretty dynamic album.
Speaking of Faith No More, you know.
Love Blood Sugar Sex Magic. That's a really like nice organic sounding rock album, you know, with just raw takes on it.
And then even like
the Rage.
Rage
album.
First and the second
Rage album.
which are very different.
Yeah.
Which leads to like, you know, Deftones, like White Pony, Around the Fur.
All great picks. How often do you guys get asked about To Be Loved being the Monday Night Raw theme?
You know, we are super grateful that song was featured on that, because that made that track pop off worldwide.
That song goes off live every time we play it.
Yeah.
Funny story about that is that we played in Germany with Iron Maiden, and you know, metal fans, especially in Europe, are super diehard, and we were like kind of freaking out, like, shit, are they gonna hate, like, are they gonna hate us? Are they gonna boo us, you know?
Yeah.
And then we came out to that song and they just went nuts.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, they love us, cool. And then we were trying to figure out what it was. And then we found out after the show that Germans love WWE, and that being the song was like,
it was the perfect setup for us for a great show.
Absolutely. I'm a huge wrestling fan myself, and that is the soundtrack of that era. Like, there's such a nostalgic bone that song hits, because it makes me think of watching wrestling, and that being the theme song every Monday night. It was the thing you looked forward to, and that song got it kicked off. So I'm glad that you guys have fun.
Who's your favorite classic wrestler, like old school style?
Like Shawn Michaels, would you count him as old school enough?
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah.
I would say Shawn Michaels then, yeah.
I was like awesome when I was first into it, man. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, dude. I was all about him, dude.
I love that. He's still around wrestling. He's still making appearances and becoming special guest referee and stuff.
That's what's up.
All right. So my final question for you guys. This is a question that I ask all of the musicians and artists on my show. Noel Gallagher of Oasis once said that he summed up everything he's ever wanted to say with 3 songs: Rock and Roll Star, Live Forever, and Cigarettes and Alcohol. If you had to pick 3 songs that sum up everything you've ever wanted to say, which 3 would you select?
Oh, what? You're gonna hit me with that, bro? You make me hit.
The Scars be in there?
Yeah, I think Scars would definitely be in that batch of songs. I feel that one's just so.
Angels and Insects. That would be my pick.
All right, Scars, Angels and Insects, and then maybe.
Should we pick Leave a Light On?
Yeah, Leave a Light On. There's something really special about that one. Something really, I believe, mature about that song. The message really reflects, you know,
especially where
we are.
Yeah.
I love those 3 picks. Awesome picks. You're still on tour. If you want to go see Papa Roach on tour, you can get tickets. Go look up their website, see if they're coming to a city near you. Hopefully they are, and hopefully we'll hear some new music from them soon, because I'm always itching for new Papa Roach music. Thank you guys for joining the show.
Absolutely. Good luck. Hey, good luck at your festival this weekend, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Let's smash them out, dude.
What's the name of the band so we can check it out?
We're called Pup Punk. We're like a parody on like the Blink-182 era of pop punk bands.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So we have
okay.
songs about like being angsty, stuck at our locker, lying about girlfriends, stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
All right. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
All right.